You've probably heard 1,000 opinions about two-stroke versus four-stroke outboards. Your buddy swears by his two-stroke and says anything else is a waste of money. The guy at the marina says four strokes are the only way to go. You are looking at buying your first boat, or maybe you are thinking about making the switch, and everyone has a different answer. Here's what makes this decision so frustrating. Both sides sound convincing, both have valid points, and the truth is, the wrong choice for your situation can cost you thousands of dollars and countless hours of headaches. This is not just about which engine sounds cooler or what the specs say on paper. This affects your actual experience on the water, your wallet, and whether you spend your weekends fishing or dealing with problems. The stakes are real, and nobody is giving you the straight answer you need. Let's get into it. Please like this video if it is helpful. First, we need to understand what's happening inside these engines, because the fundamental difference changes everything. A two-stroke engine completes its power cycle in 2 strokes of the piston. That means every time the piston goes up and down once, you get a power stroke. It fires on every revolution. A 4-stroke engine needs 4 strokes to complete its cycle, so it fires only every other revolution. One engine is constantly punching, the other takes turns. This creates the first major difference you will notice the second you hit the throttle. Power delivery. A 2-stroke fires twice as often, so it produces power differently. You get more immediate response. When you slam the throttle forward, a 2-stroke jumps. It is aggressive, it is responsive, and for people who are fishing and need to make quick moves, that instant power is addictive. You are not waiting for the engine to spool up. A 4-stroke is smoother. The power comes on progressively. It is not slow, but it is more refined. For cruising, for long runs, for family days on the water, that smoothness is actually an advantage. You are not getting thrown around, and passengers appreciate not feeling like they are on a mechanical bull every time you touch the throttle. But here's where it gets interesting. The weight difference is massive, and this is something that doesn't get enough attention. A 4-stroke outboard can weigh 30 to 40% more than an equivalent 2-stroke. We are talking about 100 pounds or more on bigger motors. That extra weight sitting on your transom changes how your boat rides. It affects your whole shot, your top speed, and your fuel efficiency because you are pushing more weight through the water. And if you are running a smaller boat, especially a flats boat or a bay boat where every pound matters, that weight difference is not just noticeable, it's a game changer. A heavier motor means your bow sits higher, which can affect visibility and handling in choppy water. It means you might need a jack plate to get the right performance. And if you ever need to tilt your motor up manually or work on it, that extra weight is going to make itself known real quick. Now let's talk about the thing everyone obsesses over, fuel economy. The common wisdom is that 4-strokes are more fuel efficient, and in general, that's true. A 4-stroke engine burns fuel more completely because of how the combustion cycle works. You are getting more energy out of every drop of gas. If you are doing a lot of long-distance cruising, or you are running a charter operation where fuel costs add up fast, that efficiency matters. You could be looking at 20 to 30% better fuel economy with a 4-stroke, depending on how you run it. But here is the catch that nobody mentions. Modern, direct injection 2-stroke engines have closed that gap significantly. The old 2-strokes were fuel hogs because they mixed oil with gas and burned it inefficiently. New direct injection 2-strokes are a completely different animal. They inject fuel directly into the combustion chamber at high pressure, and the efficiency numbers are surprisingly close to 4-strokes now. You are not sacrificing nearly as much as you think. And if you are primarily fishing in shallow water, making short runs, and spending a lot of time at idle or trolling speed, the fuel economy difference basically disappears. Most of your fuel burn happens at wide open throttle on long runs. If that is not how you use your boat, the efficiency advantage of a 4-stroke becomes almost irrelevant. Maintenance is where things get really divisive. A four-stroke has more parts. It has valves, camshafts, timing chains or belts, and a more complex oiling system. That means more things that can wear out and more things that need regular attention. Oil changes are more involved. Valve adjustments are a real consideration. And when something breaks, the repair bills can be staggering because you are paying for more labor and more expensive parts. A two-stroke is mechanically simpler. Fewer moving parts means fewer things to break. There are no valves to adjust and no timing components to worry about. Maintenance is more straightforward, and if something does go wrong, the repairs are often cheaper and faster. For people who do their own work or who are far from a good marine mechanic, that simplicity is worth its weight in gold. But two-strokes are not maintenance-free. You are still dealing with spark plugs that foul more easily, especially if you idle a lot. You are mixing oil with your fuel, or relying on an oil injection system that needs monitoring. And depending on the model, you might be rebuilding more frequently than a four-stroke. It is a different kind of maintenance, not necessarily less. Then there's the sound. This is subjective, but it matters more than people admit. A two-stroke has that distinctive high-pitched scream at wide-open throttle. It's loud, it's aggressive, and some guys love it. It sounds fast. But if you're spending hours on the water, or you fish early mornings in quiet areas, that sound can get old. It's also the sound that makes your neighbors hate you when you fire up at 5 a.m. A four-stroke is quieter and has a deeper, more refined tone. It's the difference between a sport bike and a cruiser. At idle and cruising speeds, the noise difference is significant. If you value a peaceful day on the water, or you're trying to sneak up on fish, that quieter operation is a real advantage. Longevity is another factor that gets misrepresented. The old reputation was that two-strokes did not last as long, and for old carbureted models, that was often true. But modern two-stroke direct injection engines are proving to be extremely durable. We are seeing people put thousands of hours on them without major issues. The technology has evolved. Four-strokes, meanwhile, have a reputation for lasting longer, and when properly maintained, they absolutely can. But the phrase "when properly maintained" is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Miss a valve adjustment, run the wrong oil, or let a small issue go unaddressed, and you can grenade a four-stroke just as easily as any other engine. The reality is that both modern engines, when taken care of, will outlast the average boat owner's use. The question is not which lasts longer in some theoretical sense, but which one fits your maintenance habits and your mechanical knowledge. Environmental regulations have pushed both technologies forward. Old two-strokes dumped unburned fuel into the water and spewed smoke. They were dirty, and regulations forced manufacturers to innovate. Modern two-stroke direct injection engines meet the same EPA standards as four-strokes. They are not the oil-belching dinosaurs of the past, but four-strokes still have a slight edge in emissions, particularly compared with two-strokes that do not use direct injection and that are still on the market. If you are in an area with strict environmental rules, or you genuinely care about your impact, that is worth considering. So which one should you actually buy? If you're running a heavy boat, doing long offshore trips, and fuel economy matters, a four-stroke makes sense. If you want smooth, quiet operation, and don't mind the extra weight and maintenance complexity, choose four-stroke. If you're in a lighter boat, fishing shallow water, and you value instant throttle response and lighter weight, a modern two-stroke direct injection engine is hard to beat. If you do your own maintenance or you're far from service, the simplicity of a two-stroke can save you headaches and money. The truth is, both are excellent when matched to the right application. The mistake is listening to brand loyalists who insist one is always better. Your decision should be based on how you actually use your boat, not on what some guy at the dock swears by. Because at the end of the day, The best outboard is the one that gets you on the water more and in the shop less. Choose based on your fishing style, your boat, and your budget. Everything else is just noise.